Yes! We can make him. Oh my goodness, finally. And steel. There's vibrant alloy. And there's diamond seeds. We can also pick up gold. And HOP graphite. Anyways, hello everyone and welcome back to Project Ozone 3. Mythic mode. That's a crazy angle. In the last episode, we got into nuclear craft, starting with a little bit of TBU fuel all the way up until we got Californium. In between the episodes, as you guys saw, I made sure to set up the 32 extra magma crucibles. It seems that we're only using half of them right now though, which is a good sign, although actually no it's not. Oh right, because these ones output to the bottom. They're supposed to output to the top like that. Yeah, let me just copy and paste. Yeah, nice, there we go, although it is quite laggy down here. And yeah, just look at the rate of neutral steel that we're getting. Anyways, one more thing that I did in between the episodes is actually to the ME controller. I finally finished it all out. We have every P2P on every possible side. I guess I didn't do the top, but we don't really need to because we have like 44 P2Ps here already, and that's gonna be plenty. Oh, but I guess I missed the controller. This is probably the one that we used for crafting the NASA workbench. It's fine, I'll craft another one later. And with that, I also decided to just rewire the entire base. Or I mean, not rewire, but just clean up the wiring that we already had. So we're no longer reusing any P2Ps. We have fresh one at every connection, and all of the cable is now colored. There is no like glass cable. It's all either yellow for subnet or blue for the mainnet. We also have some more singularities that we can make. Yeah, so we have ruby, sapphire, peridot, meteoric iron, osmium, bronze, and electrotine. So yeah, the singularity craft is looking a lot more filled out now. Anyways, let's get on with the episode. Ooh, I just noticed that we're losing redstone, which is not great. I was at 1.8 million a couple hours ago. I think I will remove the extra nether and end seed, and we'll keep these for redstone. Yeah, hopefully that'll fix our issue. We should have 4 seeds doing redstone now. Yeah, and again, just to stay consistent, we'll mark those as reused. Anyways, let's get on with today's episode. The first thing I want to invest in today is getting wireless access to our ME system. I finally had enough of having to teleport back and forth every time, so it's about time that we invest in some wireless. I should even have an infinity booster card. You get this sometimes from killing the wither, and we killed a bunch last episode, so now we just need the wireless access and the wireless terminal itself. Oh yeah, and a security terminal, but that should be easy enough. 16k? We should have some extra. Yeah. Okay, there's the ME chest. Oh, you need PCBs for a security station, because of course you do, and the turbine blade is golden redstone. Well, in that case, I think I'll set up the assembly line for making unassembled PCBs. We might as well even have a pattern for it. It should be a pretty easy implementation. And yeah, we can just add an interface below this chest, and I guess if we place an interface here, it should think that this is an output. I do have some empty PCBs here. Let's test this out. Okay, well, I'm guessing with empty PCBs that have already been etched, it doesn't work. I'll try this out with compressed iron. Yeah, this makes us the advanced tubes. Okay, so it does actually detect the chest. Good. And then we'll see if this works with the interface as an output. Very slow, though. I should definitely invest in some upgrades. Actually, you know what? I'll craft the speed upgrades right now. The lubricant we have in a tank here. We bought this with the Amazon a while ago. Okay, there's like 5 of them to start with. That was fast. And I think it actually did detect it as an output side. Oh, and we also just got the PCB. That goes in the chest. There we go. Wait, this is actually working? Hold up. Can we add more speed upgrades? Wait, was that it? Did it get done? Nice, we did get it. All right, awesome. PCBs are now much easier to create. Also, earlier I made some turbine blades, so we can extract those now. All right, yeah, now we just need 4 PCBs in total. And we can also get some turbine rotors. This is why I made the blades here. Okay, and there's 4 security stations. Nice. And there's a security terminal. I will go ahead and place this right here. Okay, now we need some wireless receivers here, which is Fluix pearls and... Ooh, that's shulker pearls. And some unstable ender pearls, but these are actually easy if we only had normal pearls. Where did our pearls go? What? Oh, please don't tell me pulsating iron... No! God damn it. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and turn off both of these alloy smelters here that use ender pearls. Ooh, but we do have some here in vivid alloy. I've been making a bunch of pneumatic capacitors. Yeah, so far we have a couple stacks here. That's probably what's been sucking up all the pulsating iron. Well, at least we have a couple of ender pearls to work with. Actually, wait, I remember... Yes, I got myself a powered spawner specifically for the shulker pearls. So if we look here at the soul binder, I should have a... Yes, a broken spawner of shulker. Just gotta combine this in the anvil. Wrong way. And ideally, I want to spawn them a little far away so that they don't teleport everywhere. So yeah, something like this should work. Now we just have to right click them and they drop the shulker pearls. It does seem like we need quite a bit here for the end game, which is kind of what... Oh, but they have EMC. Okay, so then we'll be fine. Okay, anyways, here's some Fluix pearls. We want 2 wireless receivers. One of those becomes an access point. And for the quest, we need a wireless booster, but we don't actually need this. So now we want 2 terminals, one of which will become another crafting terminal. And then we make the wireless terminal first. Then we upgrade this one to the wireless crafting terminal. Alright, now obviously we just have to link this, place down the access point. I can put it in a bubble slot. I already have a hotkey for it. And now we place in the infinity booster card. Alright, now we don't need this anymore. Alright, nice. This is going to make life a whole lot easier. Although I'm probably going to forget I have this and then still go back to the terminals. Oh yeah, also by the way, diamond seeds are now ready. So we now have a production of this again. And we can also add vibrant alloy. And yeah, before I forget, let me also turn off energetic alloy, because now we have a seed for this. Oh yeah, and end steel as well. Alright, now with those first 2 projects done, I went ahead and double checked what we're still missing for the philosopher stone. And to be fair, it's honestly not that much. The most worrying part is these 3 items here, all the mystical agriculture stuff, especially this creative essence. We're gonna need a bunch of insanium, which actually, speaking of which, we need 8 in total. So can we actually do it? Actually, yeah, we can. It also requires the master infusion crystal, so I guess we'll try and do that today as well. It's also another 8 pieces of insanium. Yeah, in that case, I'm gonna take out everything in the drawer and let this 4th degree buffer up again. We have 14,000 of the 1st degree, so it should actually be fine. Oh, and actually just that was enough for us to get the insanium. We just need a supremium infusion crystal, which is easy enough if only we had a superium infusion crystal, which is also easy. Oh no, our 3rd degree. Okay, hold up, disconnect the 4th degree for a second. Okay, I managed to buffer up a little more. And yeah, there's the supremium infusion. Then we need the insanium. Oh yeah, let me put this in the actual ME system. And just like that, we get an infusion crystal. I'm assuming this one, yeah, it can do everything, but it has a limited durability. And actually with that, there's the master infusion crystal. And now I just have to change a couple patterns. And actually, let's kill a couple more withers here. And also, I probably should give some upgrades to the mob crusher, because it doesn't really seem to be keeping up with killing the withers fast enough. And now actually we can get the nether star crux that we need for the creative essence. You can use any tier 6 crux, but nether star is just the cheapest one. Okay, and there we go. The creative essence was not that bad. And next, I think I should definitely tackle the magic side of this. We'll start off with the Ember Crystal Cluster, which is quite easy. And we just need at least 24 ashes in each of the aspectuses. And this one was inaccurate by 11 on each. So that means we need 35 ash. So those 2 go on the sides like so. And I think next up I want to deal with this totemic capacitor. All we're missing for that is totems of undying. Actually, I can't find a good way of getting totems of undying. So if you guys know about that, let me know in the comments though. I think instead we'll focus on this Oblivion Catalyst from Abyssal Craft. It doesn't seem like we need to progress too much. It's just down here. So yeah, hopefully that won't take too long. Let's get started with the book. Okay, so now we just want to build a little altar, kind of like so, and hopefully if we shift click with the book, we get the ritual altar. Nice. With this, we can input the ingredients on the pedestals. And now we need a little bit of PE, which means we have to follow this side of the quest book. Seems like we need some Shoggoth biomass. And again, a little bit far away from our base, we're going to build a platform. Yeah, something like this. And if we just dot these around the place, it should spread. Yeah, okay, so we just spawned these Shoggoths, which will then spread their ooze. You can actually see that one right there piling up. Once it piles up high enough, we should see a little bit of a statue get created. Alright, so a little bit later, we now have a couple statues. And with all the monolith stone that I harvested from the pillars, we can make smaller monolith pillars. Oh yeah, and we'll also want an energy pedestal. We'll probably need 7 in total, because that's how many statues there are. And I guess, yeah, let's start placing these down. Then if we place an energy pedestal and the Necronomicon on top... Oh, there we go. Yeah, we got a little bit of PE. Okay, sure. For some reason, whenever I hold it, we get PE, but not when it's on the pedestal. Oh, okay. So I just read the book, and we actually have to place the pedestals, or the statues, 3 blocks away for this energy pedestal to actually work. Oh, shoot! Yeah, I forgot that that's something that can happen. Okay, yeah, now we just have to wait until we have at least 300 PE. In the meanwhile, I'll see if I can get some more statues. Okay, well, I couldn't get any more statues, but at least we should have enough PE to do some things, yes. And that's enough for this first craft, the transmutation gem. Oh, come on! What? Horrible timing, but there we go. We got the gem. Alright, with this, we can make a bunch of shards of oblivion. And can I enchant this with mending? And mending is just a book and a nether star. Or actually, just an experience rod. Okay, but you can't use an anvil for this, so I'm just gonna use an enchantment applicator, which needs some liquid essence. Thankfully, the mob crusher here gives us some. Nice, that actually worked. And with just an Ender IO tank, we can tell this into input from the bottom, and there we go, that repairs our thing. Okay, and now we can work on the Oblivion Catalyst. It does need 5,000 PE, and our current setup clearly can't get that much. Well, it can, but it would be just way too slow since we need 4 of these. So instead, we're gonna get ourselves a sacrificial altar, like so. Actually, we'll get 2 of them, and then we'll even have a second Necronomicon to charge them both at the same time. We can place these 2 next to our mob farm, and whenever a mob dies, we get a little bit of PE. Yeah, you can see it highlights the mob that is targeting, and it's way faster. We're already up to 2,000 PE here and 156 over here in less than like 10 seconds. Okay, and now we're back here to the lost cities because I want to find that biome right there. Nice. We can actually collect a bunch of darkstone from this, and with that we can actually upgrade the sacrificial altar to the overworld version. And yeah, we should have plenty of PE here to upgrade both of these. It's only 400 for each one. Nice. Alright, so while I'm waiting for the PE, I decided to start working on some seeds here that we need for singularities. But for some reason, I wasn't able to craft these essences because of the Master Infusion Crystal. So in the crafter's room here, I added the tier 3 crafter. And so that way I was able to take out the infusion crystal from the recipe and just keep it in the crafter. So now if we request like a tier 5 seed here, you can see it crafts up all the essences and it's actually already done. Anyways, let me get back to crafting the seeds. So here's a fun little fact. I'm just now getting started on the actual seed crafting. And that's when I realized Terra Steel needs 8 blocks for the recipe, which is not great because we have like 1 mana pool as a buffer. So I did go ahead and add, what, 15 more? But our mana generation here just is not good enough. And I think the easiest one to craft and set up is probably going to be Rosa Arcanas. I was going to go with the Keki Morris, but it needs a lot of rune crafting, and that's just really annoying to do. And it's the same thing for a lot of these actually good ones. You just need multiple runes, and it's annoying to craft. So I'll just make like 8 of these Rosa Arcanas, which is, what, 8 of these runes of mana, and that's not that bad. Yeah, and then we'll revamp this entire setup. So give me a second here. Although before that, we do actually have enough PE now to craft up 2 of these Oblivion Catalysts. It does say there's a sacrifice required. Yoink. And for that, I'll just use this fluid cow here. And yeah, as you saw there, you can literally just pick it back up. So let's do that one more time. Nice. And these 2 can go next to the gas tiers. Okay, now let me get this mana flower. Okay, little progress update. I better automated the Lordic stone here. It doesn't make as much noise and it actually works consistently now. And I also got fed up with how slow these stupid arcane forges are. So I just went ahead and spammed a bunch. It does use up a lot of crystals though. So I actually switched to bright crystals because the floating ones use quartz and I don't actually have an infinite source of that, believe it or not. I only have 2,000. Probably should get a seed for it, but you know. And all of these forges are just working on getting us the crystalline stone. Don't think I've showed this before, but it's just a combination of mana infused gem and some Lordic stone. Yeah, and then you have to go through this chain here with regular stone, then Lordic, then crystalline, and that's what you craft into the runes with the runestone crafter, and then you can actually start crafting Botania runes. Yeah, it's just a bunch of micromanaging all the resources. Of course they don't stack. Okay, finally, there's all the materials to get all 8 of the mana runes. Okay, nice. Now let me go ahead and rebuild this entire thing. And you know what? Since we're trying to improve everything, we might as well also get the next tier of spreader. Just costs a little bit of living wood. Ooh, and we also need elementium, which is 2 pieces of terra steel in this pack. Okay, hopefully I can get a couple at least. Damn it, we only have 6 pieces, but that should be enough. Yeah, we'll be able to get the first 3 mana spreaders. And in the interface, we're going to request solidified experience. We have like 500,000 of this, so it's not going to be a problem. Oh wait, and we can't even use the mechanical user for this because we're maxed out on grid power. So either we get the dragon mill, doesn't seem that far off. Matter of fact, yeah, we can even get it right now. And I guess we'll place it like here in this corner. Or we can even use an XP tap because we do have a pretty big buffer of liquid XP. Although a quick test actually, can we toggle this on and off with redstone? It does not seem like I can. Well, in that case, mechanical user will do just fine. We'll put in our redstone transmitter. This should pass the signal to the mechanical user, and it will tell this to turn off when there's a redstone signal. Place down the Rosa Arcanas like that, and the spreaders, we can just line them up like so. Also, I think the Rosa Arcanas don't actually have a limit on how much XP they can turn into mana all at once. So we should be able to give the user some upgrades. And yeah, look at that. The mana is climbing back up again, which does make the bottleneck our mana spreaders, but that's fine. Yeah, so now while I wait for more terra steel, I'll actually start crafting these seeds now. I'm aware that I've been holding off on doing these these for quite a bit now. And a fair bit of time later, we have some extra seeds now, like corallium, nether quartz, pulsating iron, flux electrum, steel leaf, and ender pearls. And I'm also in the middle of 10-10-10ing some dawnstone seeds. I also did finish crafting all 8 of the mana spreaders, and I mean our mana buffer is looking quite healthy now. Let's see how many pieces of terra steel we can actually craft. Alright, I was able to get 11 pieces of terra steel, which is only enough for 1 block. I think now, just so that we can wrap up the Botania side of things, we should go ahead and get this black hole talisman. Oh, which is a little more elementine, but that should be fine. The main thing we're missing for this though is the Gaia spirit, which means we'll need to do the guardian fight, and I think I'll just place it somewhere here. Yeah, so this arena here should be good. We'll go ahead and place down our beacon. Nice. Alright, now we just need the Gaia pylons, which are more elementium. Well, hopefully our mana buffer is going to survive this. Probably not, but let's see. We only need 14 more pieces. Okay, we barely just don't have enough terra steel, so I'm just gonna split down the block that we already made, and this should be good. I wish I could just AFK for more mana, but I don't really have the time to do that. I forgot some lighting. Okay. And I always get this wrong, but I think it's 2 blocks away from the beacon that we place these pylons. Put in the terra steel and hope for the best. Okay, yeah, so it must be 3 blocks then. Let's try again now. Hello. We also have a jetpack, so we can cheese the fact that flight is not allowed. Doesn't seem like a very difficult boss fight so far. Wait, how am I dying? Wait, hold up. I'm also not wearing any armor, which does not help. I also just noticed there's absolutely no music playing, which is a little bit weird. Nice. Oh yeah, and there's the Gaia spirits. You know what? I think I do want to fight the tier 2 boss fight. Matter of fact, let's fight him twice. Yeah, I think I'm ready for that. Although, for a second here, let me try and upgrade all of this armor as high as we can go. Actually, hold on. I will not be upgrading these. Cobalt armor is way more garbage than emeradic. Yeah, I'll upgrade it when I actually need to. For now, I guess just a couple enchants would help. Well, this can only go 2 ways now. Either incredibly horribly or perfectly fine. Oh, and there we go. That actually didn't go too bad. We also get the Dice of Fate. And that gets us the Ring of Loki. I don't really care about that. I guess we can have another go at him. Let's see. Nice, and there's the boss fight. Wait, what? We just got some Runes of Mana and Winter from that. That's actually pretty convenient. Let's see what the second dice gets us, though. And it's absolutely garbage. Okay, I think this is something that uses mana to refill your hunger or something, but I don't really need that. Well, that's all the time that I have for right now. So I think when I come back, I'll decorate this place. I need to fill in these framed blocks. And in general, just clean this area up, and then we can move on to something else. Yeah, I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so it's been a little bit of time. I've been AFK here just waiting for these mana pools to fill up. And then I actually noticed that our mana spreaders, which used to be the Elven version, were just actually too slow for the Rosa Arcanas. So I did go ahead and upgrade them to the Gaia version, which is actually a pretty cheap upgrade, all things considered. 1 Gaia Spirit and 4 Terra Steel. And this bottom one right here actually has a velocity and potency mana lens, which makes it go way faster. Matter of fact, just this one spreader is able to handle 7 of these Rosa Arcanas. And then this one right here in the corner goes up to this guy. And I'm pretty sure this is as fast as we're going to be able to get our mana generation to be. Actually, wait, I can still put in 2 more speed upgrades in the mechanical user. And yeah, now our mana generation is absolutely insane. Okay, and now a mild amount of AFKing later, we can notice that the mana pools are actually almost full, which is great because now I want to try and auto-craft Terra Steel because I don't feel like making all 72 pieces by hand. And it's actually a relatively simple automation that we need to implement. We'll go with an interface, which goes into an impulse hopper, and then this auto outputs into a mechanical user. And if we just find the right setting, that's not... Yeah, there we go. So there's 2 conditions that we want to check for this automation to actually work flawlessly. The first one is if we have enough mana and if there is any items on the agglomeration plate. The first one's easy. We'll just detect this mana pool right here. It doesn't matter which one we add. So yeah, let's say if there is a redstone signal of 3, which is probably going to be enough mana for 1 Terra Steel. Obviously, if all of these are at the same level, then we send the redstone signal to the transmitter, gets received over here. I did change the layout of this a little bit, but it's pretty much the same. But yeah, the redstone signal goes to the impulse hopper, which is going to enable only with the signal. And yeah, you can see because we have enough mana now, the redstone is on, so this thing will enable. And actually, we'll get a redstone knot filter. This is going to invert the signal. The impulse hopper is going to treat it as being off. And then we'll tell the redstone mode here to be active without a signal. That way we can have an entity detector, which I think I'm going to place here, and then just move the receiver up 1, and then we'll tell this thing to only detect items, and we'll invert this output. So if an item gets dropped, this thing should get disabled, and if we don't have enough mana, it should also turn off. Oh yeah, and let's set the impulse hopper for 1 of each item. So let's try and request a Terra Steel. Okay, and now we just have to output to the bottom, and let's try and request another one, but there's already a piece of Terra Steel on there. Why do you still go out? Okay, give me a second to figure this out. Okay, I got it to work. So just had to reshuffle a couple of things. So if we request like 4 pieces of Terra Steel, you'll see that it actually inputs everything, and it's waiting for whenever we are actually done with the first craft before this sends out any more ingredients. And if we pretend that we ran out of mana by breaking that redstone comparator, yeah, everything stays in place and nothing happens. It's not actually sending it out until it's 100% sure that we have enough mana for the craft. Oh yeah, and I also added this ranged collector with a whitelist for Terra Steel that sends it back to the system. Anyway, so yeah, we have an entity detector here detecting any items, and then that outputs a redstone signal, which directly disables the hopper. So if there's any items here, this thing disables. Although if there's any items already in this output slot, then they will still go through as normal. So, which is pretty convenient for this purpose, actually. We have this on active without a signal, and it has to be specifically this because we are trying to make basically an AND gate where we want to check for 2 conditions before this can be allowed to go through. So yeah, fairly simple. And then over here we have the redstone receiver, which is obviously detecting the mana levels, and this actually has a NOT gate on it. So if there is a redstone signal, then it will treat it as if there is none, and that's because whenever we have enough mana, this outputs a redstone signal, but obviously that disables the impulse hopper. So we want to invert that. And yeah, then the items are allowed through. The mechanical user inputs them on the celestial agglomeration the agglomeration plate. Yeah, so now if we try to request the remaining 56 Terra Steel, we don't even need to babysit this. We'll just let this run in the background. And to be honest, that did not take that much time of AFKing. Yeah, we already have all the Terra Steel we need. And I think with that, we'll wrap up the episode here. I guess we can end it off with a couple more singularities like conductive iron and yellorium. There's also a couple more here like solarium and lumium that I've been cooking since the start of this episode, and they're still not done somehow. Although I guess when you only have 2 alloy smelters trying to craft, what, 36,000 combined ingots? It's obviously gonna take a while. And yeah, yellorium goes here, and conductive iron goes right there. We still have a fair few singularities left to go. Some of these have me worried, like melodic alloy, which has no seed. And I did try to increase the buffer for this a couple hours ago. We're up to 7,000. Actually, maybe just a bit of AFKing will do us fine. But yeah, now for real, let's end it off. I'm thinking we'll come back next time to finally tackle the rest of the singularities. Well, maybe not all of them, but we'll try our best. And so until then, thank you guys so much for watching. But for now though, have a great rest of your day.